There's three ways you can defend yourself, which is either going to get you destroyed or you're going to be successful in defending yourself. Okay? But none of those actually are Aikido. Aikido is a different response that doesn't come out of the defense matrix. Aikido comes out of the love and caring department. Okay, now, as O-sensei got older and older, O-sensei is what we call Morihei Ueshiba, great teacher, O-sensei. As he became older and older, he became weaker and weaker. As he approached his 80s, he couldn't do the things so physically that he could do in his 30s and 40s and 50s. So he started seeing gradually how much more the emotional component of love and compassion and all these things started working into the program. So we don't want to have to go to our 80s to figure that out. I was happy to figure it out when I was in my 50s. And I hope my students are going to figure it out in their 20s or younger. And the way that we're going to experiment with this a bit is to imagine the same kind of things, but we're going to play a little different game this time. This time we're going to play what I call the Halloween game. So we all love to go to Halloween parties and have Halloween parties, and it's a time where people put on masks. So Corey, if you would join me, please. Corey's going to represent a guest who's coming to my party, and he's got the most god-awful mask you've ever seen. It's dripping blood, it's just horrendous, and I'm a little freaked out because I can't see who it is. And he's a big guy, and I don't know if he's someone on my guest list or if he's someone who's going to invade. And so he's going to give me, and you've all experienced this spear energy now, so your partner is going to give you the spear energy. Now, they're not going to be pushing you away. I want you to take that down a notch just so you can think, I'm coming in. So just so your partner can just barely feel that little bit of intrusion into their central core. If I make it for Corey too difficult by putting a real spear in there, it's going to be hard for him, for his brain to make this transition. So the reason we play these games is because if I get a real attacker, my limbic system has been embedded, it's hardwired, and it's also informed by my conditioning on what to do when I feel this threat of a spear come in, and it's going to be really hard for me if the stimulus is so great for me to find my way into the beneficence matrix. Now, the reason this is important is that we've got all this hard wiring that when we have a perception of threat or detriment, we respond in defense mode. When we have a response, when we have a stimulus of love or caring or giving or joining, our response is to soften and accept and become loving ourselves. The two don't go together well, okay? It's very hard for your brain to make a connection between taking care of somebody or loving someone or helping someone if there's a perception of threat. So what we're doing with Aikido is an exercise in neuroplasticity where we're actually training our brain to respond to a perception of threat from the love matrix. And so we're going to show you how that works a little bit with this game. So when he gives me that little bit of spear energy, he's going to first notice that I have a defense response, probably. Either I'm going to do this, and he can say, oh, you're withdrawing. Now, if I see, oh, the scary monster, and I do this, he's going to come right on in, and he's going to eat all the food, and everybody's going to run away. And that's going to be awful. It's not going to be very much of a good party anymore. So what I might do is I might look through the peephole and try to determine who he is. Now this is close to being a shield. It's a little variation on a shield I call a wall or a door. The difference being that my physiology, my anatomy and physiology can produce the shield response and have it be out there independently of what's going on in my cognition. So I can have it there and he can feel that shield, but I'm not really part of it. I'm thinking, well, who is this guy and what's he doing? And is that somebody invited or who is that? You know? So that's what I call a wall. Then I could open the door and step out with the shield this time and go, you can't come in here. Now the difference is now that my shield is more direct. It's more connected to me and he can feel my presence in this barrier coming to here. Okay, so that's a shield. I've gone from door to shield. Then I could determine, I don't want you on the property. And I can say, you have to leave. And then he feels the spear. Now, you can go through those if you want, but you don't have to. You can just rely on your first initial response. But if it's a withdrawal, what I would like you to do is come to either a shield or a spear. And again, let's do this with slight spear energy, like you might have to leave. It's not going to push him over, but he'll feel the intrusion on his central core. And then we're going to change our consciousness with our partner's help. Now, we're going to pretend that, and in our imagination, our intention can live. So my intention to hold him back is based on this grotesque mask that he's wearing. So when it's established, he's going to remove the mask. I'm going to see it's someone I invited. And in this case, in your case, I want you to imagine it's someone you haven't seen in a long time that you love, and it's just been too long. So that when you see them, you go, Corey, I thought you were a monster. Thank you so much for coming. Now, did you see the change that happened in him? If I spear him, if I see the mask and you got to go away, see, he kind of backs off, right? Or he could intrude even more. But when he takes off the mask and I invite him, he starts to change. He starts to turn. His energy flows a different way. Now you see these things here. Shield is a barrier, the spear isn't entering, the withdrawal is energy going this way. The beneficent response is expansive. Now I don't have any drawing for that because it's a mobile thing of expansion. And in this expansion, it doesn't fight against the spear. That would be a shield. It moves in harmony with that. And it goes where the spear isn't piercing. And it goes around it like a hug. It's inclusive, it's expansive, and it feels good to him. And you may find that your partner, when they're giving this spear energy, and they take off the mask, you might feel yourself give up your spear. And that'll be natural because your brain is geared to respond to beneficence with beneficence, to love with love. So you may feel that with your partner. Now, I want you to be conscious when you do this of when he takes off the mask, of things like, oh, it's you. Well, come on in. And your partner's going to help you. In Aikido, we use partners as biofeedback mechanisms. And he's going to say, well, that doesn't feel welcoming. That feels like you're still pushing me back. He may also feel something like, oh, hey, how are you? Nice to see you. Come on in. While I'm maintaining a shield. See, my brain is very tricky. My brain may say, yeah, okay, we'll invite him in, but not so much. Okay, the limbic system is a really strong, powerful thing to keep you safe, and it's not going to give it up easily. Okay? And he may also feel like, oh, sure, come on in. But it doesn't feel welcoming. It feels like a release or I don't know what the word is, but it feels like you know, I don't want to deal with this, so just come on in and find your way to the food. Okay? So with a partner, let's play with this a little bit. Whoever's going to be doing the grabbing is going to give just a little bit of spear energy so we don't, you know, freak our partners out, but just enough that they can identify, yeah, that spear, and I'll say, I want to come in, and he'll give me a spear back. And then once we've established that he's got a spear or a shield, I'll say, okay, I'm going to take off my mask, and he's going to welcome me. And let's see how that feels. Now, if it feels to you like your partner withdrew, you know the feeling now. And you say, well, that didn't feel like welcoming. That felt like you were just giving up. Or it didn't feel like you were welcoming. That feels like you want to control me anyway. Well, you welcome me or bring me in. Or that you have a little fear still in you while you're bringing me in. Okay, so we just want to play with those and see where our brain is at with this. Whether we can transcend just now the idea that we need to defend ourselves. Okay, so let's give that a try. Find a partner. Thank you.